Hello guys, welcome to another video on Java for Beginners. In this video we're going to be talking about how we can create our class and how we can create our own data types, our own objects pertaining to that class, and also about how class can be used to store data pertaining to that class or every object of that class. So what we do to create our class is we use the keyword class as always. We've been using throughout the tutorial class, and we specify the class name. We'll consider the same example as the last video. We'll consider the class shirt, and that's it. That's how we define a class. So a class can have two types of elements. It can have variables inside it, or functions, or methods inside it. So I'll be talking about methods in the later part of this tutorial, and for now we can see what are the variables. So that's basically the data that can be held inside a class. So we say another thing to remember is that the data that the class holds are always the properties that belong to an object of that class. So if you consider a shirt, an object shirt that belongs to the class shirt, the data that are the variables that you define inside the class is always the properties of that object. So properties of a shirt can be color. So we can say string color, and we can say int size. So there you go. That's how you can define or declare your own member variables inside the class. And we'll talk about defining functions or methods for a particular class in the later part of the tutorial. So we say we define our original class hello world or whatever it can be, and inside this you again define your main function, and in the main function you create objects. I mean, you can create objects wherever you want in your program, but for this example, we create our objects of the class shirt in our main function. So whenever you want to create an object of a particular class, you specify the class name. So we say shirt, that is the class name, and we define or declare the object name. So here we say my shirt. There you go. That's how you declare an object of a particular class. So we have declared an object named my shirt of the class shirt. So if you declare an object variable this way, it is just a variable that does not hold any reference to any object yet. So in order to allocate memory for that object, technical terms, you have to use the new operator. So use an operator here again, and you have to say my shirt is equal to new shirt, and empty parenthesis right there. So what this line does is it allocates memory for the variable my shirt, and you can access the data that's present, the color and size for that object my shirt, using the dot operator. You can say my shirt dot color is equal to, and you can specify whatever it is. You can say it's red, and my shirt dot color is equal to, it's an int to the size, is equal to 5. Okay, just for an example. And so talking about this line, my shirt equals new shirt, if you declare just the first line here, shirt, my shirt, then it just tells the compiler to declare a new variable, but it does not allocate any object reference to the variable my shirt. So if you want to allocate memory, you have to use the new operator. You say the variable name my shirt equals new, and this shirt empty parenthesis here is a default constructor, and I'll talk about constructors in the upcoming videos, so don't bother about that for now. Just remember that always you have to say the variable equals new and the class name and empty parenthesis. So that's how you dynamically allocate memory for that object. So the new operator, what it does is it allocates memory dynamically to the variable myShirt and returns a reference to it, reference to a new object in the memory. So, I mean, a new memory location in the memory. So, if you want to use the variables or data, so here it's apparently color and size. Whenever you want to use or operate on the data, you use the dot operator. So, you qualify the name of the variables using the object name. So you say first the object name dot color equals whatever the value you want to assign, or you can also access the values. So here we have assigned the color value to red. So you can also access data in a similar way using the dot operator. You can say myShirt dot color. So there you go. It should print out red. So let's just compile this program and run it. So it gives us the output red. Similarly, you can also print out the value of size. And there it gives 5. That's the size. So you can use the dot operator to operate upon the values of the member variables. So here the string, color, int size, the color and size, these are called the member variables that belong to the class shirt. And this is how you can create an object of a particular class. You say the class name and then the object name. So similarly, you can create multiple objects. You can say myShirt2, but remember that for every object of the class that you create, you always have to dynamically allocate memory. And you can do this instead of using 2 lines of code to allocate memory. You can also dynamically allocate it during the initialization or just the declaration. You can directly say shirt myShirt equals new shirt. So this is another short way of allocating memory dynamically to an object. So that's all about the basic of objects, creating objects and using the member variables using objects. So see you again in the next video, guys. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Please don't forget to share and subscribe.